Okay, I see some more people have joined. I can go ahead and go through my quick spiel before you guys get going. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are very excited today to have an extended version of the Leadership ITE overview from three of the program's alumni who are local to the Greater Dallas section. We have three past presidents of TechSite Dallas on the call with us today, and they're going to give an overview of the program, some highlights of their experience, and they're available to answer questions that you may have. This is being recorded and will be available to view at a later date in case you want to take a look at it. All right, and I'll turn it over to Josh.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. I'm going to actually turn it over to Jody to kick off and introduce what we're talking about today, and I'll be back with you in a minute.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. And Stephanie, thank you for setting up this program. I'll say we, Lee Engineering, we're excited to be here to talk about the Leadership ITE program. We're going to roll through with the presentation and overview, the schedule for 26 coming up, the application process, tuition, and opportunities for financial aid, I believe, along the way. And I get to kick off the talk about Leadership ITE. Lee Engineering has embraced the program. I was part of the first class to go through Leadership ITE. It has developed a lot since then. So some of our more recent participants, Josh and John, will be talking about details of how the program has developed over time. I just wanted to share, that we as a company have embraced it. We've got 10 current or former employees who have been through some aspects of Leadership ITE. We recognize the importance of ITE to our career development, my personal career development, and my involvement in ITE from the time as a student when I led our student chapter through various roles in district, section, and local chapters. The program is certainly ITE focused, but it's an important opportunity for personal development. We recognize that our industry, our profession has a need for leadership development. We need strong leadership to maintain relevance and make positive contributions in all of our organizations and society as a whole. So yes, the leadership training benefits yourself. It benefits your organization, your employer, and as well as the profession as a whole. My role, kind of since having participated in the first one, has evolved into a role of promoting and supporting involvement in ITE. So throughout the organization, we want to be sure our employees are engaged in whatever role they can with ITE to promote the profession and to develop themselves personally. But next up, who is Leadership ITE for? Well, it's for any active member or fellow in good standing with ITE. As part of the application process, you'll want to demonstrate contributions that you've made, just kind of show that you are an active member of ITE through various volunteer activities and whatever other roles you've stepped up into. And if you want to grow your ability to serve others, our profession, ITE, and your organization in particular, it's a great opportunity for developing skills to assist in that effort. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to, I believe, Josh to start getting into some details of the program.
Thanks, Jody. Like you said, we've been real supporters of this organization, Leadership ITE and ITE in general. All of us have been through this course. Jody, as he said, was in the first class. John took it a while back. The course has evolved a little bit. Shelley Rowe is the instructor right now, who I had when I took the course in 2021. And Willie Roman in our El Paso office took the course a couple years after I did. He unfortunately couldn't be here today. He was going to talk about some of these things. He came down sick and sends his apologies that he couldn't make it. But One of the things you'll learn when you take the Leadership ITE course is, what is your superpower? You're going to learn to be self-aware and recognize that your greatest strengths should be honed and magnified and strengthened, but you have to recognize also that your greatest strengths, and especially with soft skills, can also be your greatest weaknesses. Your superpower is also your kryptonite, as Shelby liked to say. And becoming aware of who you are and how you can lean into your strengths and then compensate for the areas in which they might be weaknesses for you will really go a long ways towards developing your ability to lead in your organization. A lot of us as engineers are real detail people. And so, an example, if I am great with details and can spot the tiniest error in a plan set, or the tiniest clue that something might be wrong in a capacity analysis when I'm looking at a level of service table, there are advantages to that. When I then go to my client and my first inclination, my natural brain wants to put all that detail into an email and then tell them all about exactly why something is or isn't correct, or does or doesn't need to be done. That can be kryptonite in communicating with other people who don't have a brain that works the same way that my brain works. And so in the course, you get self-awareness, and you also learn about styles in which other people think and communicate, and how to adapt your own capabilities and maybe tone them down a little bit when needed to keep the benefits of those strengths, but be able to work with other people who might just have their eyes glaze over or tune out when you start spouting too much of the technical details and information. More about what you'll learn, the values and the core principles of the Leadership ITE program are that within a couple of years after taking this program, you'll be able to do each of the following things that we're going to talk about. You'll be able to understand, accept, empower, and adapt for others. As I was saying, not everyone thinks the same, and there's a inner part of our brains that reacts quickly. That's our default easy way to operate. And when we're threatened by something that is outside of our comfort zone, we tend to react more slowly. It takes more work to think through situations that aren't our normal way of thinking. So to be able to adapt the way we think and then be able to empower other people by virtue of our leadership opportunities that we have wherever we're working or serving, to be able to teach these skills to other people and help them to adapt also and become better team members and better leaders themselves. So you'll learn how to be a real high-functioning communicator, to understand and adapt to the ways that different people communicate. And along the same lines, that communication can be verbal, it can be visual, it can be charts and tables. One great course, one great session in the course that we took was to learn how to develop better presentations. And so I'm not naturally a super gifted speaker, but what I've learned there has helped me to do a better job, and also in the visual presentation. Just looking at these slides, if you're tempted to add a lot of words, a lot of details, a lot of charts, if you're going to apologize that, oh, this slide, sorry, this isn't all meant to be read, there's a lot here, don't worry about it, then you might be doing your slides wrong. Shelley really emphasized adding pictures, leaning into people's emotions, that you want to convey a picture that says 1,000 words and that speaks to how you want people to feel about the information you're sharing. And then add a splash of color, highlight things that you want to emphasize. You'll also learn how to be an effective networker and an advocate for the transportation industry. Jody talked a lot about that in the first few slides. This means you aren't only going to be thinking about yourself, but you're going to be thinking about how you can connect with other people, how they can benefit the profession, how they can benefit your company or your agency. And to speak for all of us in terms of advancing the importance of transportation in our society, and the importance of safety and improving the way that people get around and interact, and how that benefits our economy and our society. You'll learn how to be more confident in your role within ITE and as a Leadership ITE alumnus. The program will give you opportunities to connect with others and to serve in specific leadership roles. The program leadership will give you opportunities to join an ITE council, for example, or even get a volunteer leadership position on that council. There's a class project. We don't just have sessions where we share slides and presentations like this one, though there's a good bit of that. You'll be put in a team and get to work on a group project to do something real for the Institute, to take on a project, to meet the International Board of Directors, to present to them, and to share your ideas, and to bounce those ideas off of them. And there's a Shark Tank presentation where, after your team is formed, you'll pitch your idea to representatives from ITE leadership and get their feedback, and then you'll have a volunteer, either a past Leadership ITE class participant or somebody on the international board, as your mentor, helping you to work through that project and make it better and refine it. And then that project is like a learning lab for leadership skills and for communication with your team members and then outside with others, so you can immediately apply the principles you're learning in the course to a real project. And then those skills can transfer easily to other work inside ITE or within your organization. This chart here kind of illustrates some baseline, foundational, and more advanced principles that you'll learn that will be discussed in the class. At the bottom are those real engineer-centric kind of qualities and characteristics to be problem-solving and analytical and logically detailed. That's a skill set that many of us already kind of come with. But then foundational principles to build on top of that are communicating with others, being self-aware, managing your emotions, knowing what to do when something triggers you, when somebody with a different personality or communication style does something that really gets under your skin. How do you control your reaction and make it be where you can still achieve a positive outcome? So adapting to all those different personalities and thinking and working styles is kind of central to that middle layer there. And then once you can adapt to different people's ways of thinking, you can participate in all those other words that form the columns of that upper layer of the building. You'll be able to collaborate better, work with difficult people, present more effectively, motivate other people, and persuade them that they're better than they might think they are, or in other cases, maybe that they need to be a little more humble than they think they need to be. You'll be able to delegate better and not do everything yourselves. Shelley talked a lot about getting the monkey off your back. And if you have too much to do, what you can do about that by persuading and engaging other people. Your decision-making skills will improve, and you'll be able to mentor younger people in your organization and help them to be able to develop many of these same skills. And once you master all those skills, there's the opportunity to really set philosophy and vision and awareness for your whole organization. With that, I'm going to turn this over to John, who's going to talk through some of the logistics of the program, and then we'll have time for questions and answers afterwards, so anybody can ask us what might interest you about the program or what else you might want to know.
All right. Thanks, Josh. So the Leadership ITE program, it is a hybrid program. You do two different sessions that are in person, and then a lot of virtual work through Teams or Zoom or whatever collaboration tool you do. Starts off in January and at the joint the TRB meeting basically. You'll meet beforehand for a few days. Then you'll go through workshops, and I'll kind of show the schedule in a little more detail in a second. But then it all culminates in a graduation ceremony at the ITE annual meeting in the summer, which for this year's program it'll be in Detroit. The next slide, please. There we go. So this is the tentative schedule. It could change a little bit. I guess the one piece of it that I wanted to highlight is that first in-person session in January when you go to international headquarters and the TRB meetup. You'll start on a Friday night. It gives time for everybody to get into town. You'll have a meetup and just a general initial group kind of icebreaker type activity. On Saturday, you'll do leadership ITE training from 8:30 to 4. You'll have a break for kind of a meal or dinner, and then you'll have an additional session with the International Board of Directors. And then kind of one of the highlights is more the social piece there of as you get to know your class members, that Saturday night, traditionally there's a tour of the monuments along the mall there in DC. And it really lets you get to know the other folks in your class. And as Josh mentioned, that was that the people that you go through this experience with, they are a resource moving forward. It's like you've got folks across the country that are having the same challenges as you that you can bounce ideas off, and it really helps as you kind of progress through your career. Continuing on, the application process itself, it's pretty straightforward. You've got to put together your resume. There's a few essay questions, not really too long. And then you'll need a letter of support from your current employer and then somebody that's not employing you. You can include additional personal references, from other people you work with or other ITE members. The applications this year are going to be due in September, mid-September. The program itself, it costs $3,500. That'll be the next slide. It does cost $3,500, but it includes your registration for the annual meeting, which that's usually anywhere from $600 to $1,000, I think, these days. You've got your in-person training, and then all the additional workshops and all your course material. It's like I've got a 3-inch thick binder of information that was provided during my training class. There are scholarship opportunities available. They're both scholarships from the International ITE. They've got the Legacy Fund, the Fred Grove Scholarship. Consultants Council provides scholarships, and then there's also support available from both the Texas District of ITE and some, if not all, of the sections in Texas provide additional support for registrants. The tuition payment is due in November. So you apply in September, you would find out generally in October whether you've been selected or not. And then you do have to pay in November. There is an initial orientation webinar in December before you move forward with the January actual in-person parts of the course. And then kind of with that, we can, move to question. We've got a couple, more slides of just some photos of some of the groups over the years, and then a QR code for registration as you kind of flip through here. But with that, I think I'll turn it back over to either Josh or Stephanie, and we can take questions.
It's Good to see so many people joining. I saw Cameron Williams on. He's also a past Leadership ITE participant. So we'd love to hear from anybody else who's on who might have participated in the program and wants to give some thoughts on their experience.
Hi, good morning. This is Leo Ledesma. I'm in the Lone Star section. I'm currently in Leadership ITE right now, and it has been a great experience. I strongly recommend it to anybody that's interested. Go over what it's about, but I highly recommend it. I was a little uneasy going in, but going through it, some of the courses that Shelly has given have been pretty insightful and useful in my day-to-day work. So I highly recommend it. So big plug from my end.
Great, thank you. Glad you're having a good time with the course.
Hey Josh, this is Cameron. I would just echo, great program. I think the networking of meeting folks across the country and across ITE is a huge benefit. It kind of opens your perspective to what other regions are doing that you don't get. And then also just the knowledge that you learn about ITE and all of the resources that are there that sometimes we miss at the local level. So I think those are two other huge benefits of Leadership ITE.
Yeah, there's an amazing variety of technical committees and different councils within ITE. All of them need volunteers to run, and there are a lot of opportunities to get involved and stay involved long past the end of the course.
I have a question, guys.
Yeah.
People may or may not know this. So who is this program for? Like, is there a specific level of involvement that you need to have had in ITE beforehand? Do you need to be at a certain point in your career? Who is this for?
Great question. In my class, we had everybody from people who are like 5 years away from retirement down to EITs. We had some people who were just 2, 3, 4 years into their careers. So I would say it's for somebody who's had at least a little bit of experience, but it's more about your potential than about what you've done so far. That said, I think they will prioritize people who've already shown at least some interest in getting involved in ITE. I mean, that could be as small as, you had some volunteer assignments to help out for a conference, or you're helping as a committee chair in your local section. Anything you can do like that, or that you have done. Anything you have done, you could put on your resume and on your application when you apply for the program, and that will certainly help. But if you're interested in this and you're thinking, I don't know if I'm ready for this year, just get involved and do something. Talk to your local ITE leadership and say, what can I do to help out? Get involved. Keep your commitments, do what you say you're going to do, and learn, and then that's an excellent thing to put on your resume so you can feel more confident about it for next time around. But I wouldn't discourage anybody from applying. You're going to have your interest statement, and if that's you can make a good impression based on that, and that alone may get you qualified.
Yeah, I'll kind of add on to Josh's commentary there. Yeah, the classes are typically made up of a wide range of experience levels within your career, and that kind of adds to the discussion and the value of the program. You get to learn from the perspectives of young folks and what the challenges they're facing, and hopefully some of the old guys are able to share some of their experiences as well.
Yeah, just to add to that, this year's class, I'm one of the older ones. I have about 20 plus years experience, but there is some EITs in there as well. So there is a wide range. I was actually hesitant. I thought I was going to be too old, but no, it's been great. And it's been a wide range. As far as my one of the reasons I was interested because I wanted to be more involved with ITE. So I put that in my application as a reason why I wanted to be part of Leadership ITE. So I myself don't have a lot of experience within IT, but I'm hoping that grows with this. So just as an additional information.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, if there are no more questions, we can go ahead and wrap that up. Do you guys have anything to say in closing? If people have more questions, can they reach out to you?
Certainly, yeah. Reach out to a participant. Ana Maria Torres is another person down in Austin. If you're in the capital area section, she was in my class for Leadership ITE 2021. This is her right here. You can click on the QR code and go to the website. There's a lot more details. Something that's there also is a sample letter that you can use if you think you're all in about this and you're worried that your employer might not be convinced of the benefits, because it's 4 hours every third Monday for a while, and then the travel on top of that. So if you think you need to sell your employer on the benefits, there's a sample letter there that can help you do that. You can download that and adapt it and suit it to your own needs. But yeah, thank you for inviting us to share about Leadership ITE. I hope we have several of you apply and also several accepted into the program. So thanks
Thank you
again.
so much. Yeah, and thank you, Lone Star section, for joining us before your meeting. It's great to network with you guys. All right, and that'll do it. I'll send the recording out when it's available. Have a good day.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, Stephanie.
Thank you, Jody.